Hey, welcome to Live from Dennis's House. Today we are spotlighting Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John, released 1975. And we got a full house here. We got John DePalma, we got Mike Squillace, we got Paul Galiszweski, and we got Tom, and we got Jacque as well. Let's hear it for everybody. So, it's an excellent choice. It's one of my favorite albums, but I always thought that it sounded a little dirty, doesn't it? Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Doesn't that sound like an insult that you would say to somebody?
No.
Jacque, you're a brown dirt cowboy.
I think that was a lot worse.
So anyway, we're going to start off the show with a long-distance dedication to the original Brown Dirt Cowboy, Bill Clinton. And let's play the title track off his album, and we'll be right back. I went shopping for a new car. The worst process known to man. That I spent 19 months in a Vietnamese prison camp, and it wasn't as bad as those 4 hours I spent with these morons buying this car.
Is that all it was 4 hours?
I had to, halfway through, I called Greenpeace and Amnesty International, and they came and they extracted me. Navy SEALs came in and got me out of there. It was a terrible procedure, Can you feel my pain, Jacque?
I'm feeling your pain, son. Feeling the pain.
Yeah.
But they give you chocolate chip cookies.
Yes, that's a new trick, right? They lulled me into complacency. Yes. They brought out warm chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And as I was eating it, he reached in my pocket, took my wallet out, and got a new car.
What kind of car did you get?
Yeah, I don't even want to talk
Yeah,
about
right. I didn't think so.
I don't want Jacque coming back later and stealing it like last time. Now, let's talk to our guest here that we just noticed, Paul Galiszweski. I still don't know his name. How do you pronounce your actual name?
Galiszweski.
Galiszweski.
Oh,
That's much easier than it sounds. He may be the most attended guest on the show. We just calculated he was on the show 72 times, more than Bob Hope even. So we'll give him a Denny Award later on. Remember, that's going to be in a couple weeks, so it's award season. So now let's talk to John DePalma, the reason why we're all here. And John DePalma is a great singer-songwriter, and you are in the midst of recording a new album right now. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's my second CD. I did one back in 2003 that was live out of a club in New York called Don't Tell Mama. And then I've been wanting to do this one since then, working on it on and off. It's called Strange Place. It's about 2/3 of the way through, and I've been working with this crew back here on a lot of it. And we're in the final push now. This is the year I'm going to finish it. I've been working on it for like 4 or 5 years. It's not like something I do full time.
Oh, okay.
When you have a regular job, you get a few $1,000 together, you do a couple tracks. Then you save it up again and do a couple more tracks. But it's all been updated. And I met Paul singing when he's with the Josh Zuckerman band, and we did a couple things at McLuhan's with Bob Egan. We sat in, he played back up for me there, and now we're locked in on finishing the project.
So when do you think this will be ready for release?
June 2017.
Oh, that's coming up soon.
That's the date.
I'll be so excited for that and for it to be summer. That's going to be two things I'm looking forward to now.
June's a good month for that.
Yes, absolutely. So what's it like in the studio with these guys? Do they behave themselves, or are they out of control, or what?
Yeah, Paul kind of leads it. He gets everybody together, and they're all great musicians. I did some of it in New York, and I find the talent up there. Down here is just as good, but in general, people work for less money down here. In New York, so you can get I said it. Oh wait, cut that out. I didn't really mean that.
Not you, Paul.
No. It's not just that. It's not just that. I used to live in Manhattan, so I knew a lot of the musicians up there, and we did some work up there, and I'd still work with a producer up there. So I do some recording down here, and then I send the files up, and he mixes everything down.
For beautiful how that works. Technology.
Yeah.
That's
just
awesome.
way.
So now you moved down here. You live on the Jersey Shore.
I'm from
now?
Wall, and I live in Asbury now, and I've been there 5 or 6 years. And God, you're in Asbury, you just can't help but whatever music you've got in you, it'll find its way to the top if you have any desire at all, And I'm surrounded by good live musicians everywhere. There's a lot of live music. It's like a little
city, I think. Yeah. It's much closer than New York City, and it's like little, but it's got everything you need.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little place.
It really is.
Yes.
And we grew up down here now, and it was nothing years ago, and now it's come back a lot. And there's everywhere you walk in the summer, there's some live music coming out of some bar or some restaurant. So it's great.
It's a happening place.
It is.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to tell us about your life and your career and your anything exciting? You want to tell us about when you used to work at that clothing store?
Oh yeah, I want to say he has a poster of Prince from Purple Rain up on that door there and on that wall there. And I used to work at Merry-Go-Round years ago. And
you remember that place?
Of course
Ah,
I
you remember
do.
Merry-Go-Round? Yeah.
I had the best pair of jeans from Merry-Go-Round.
Well, listen, you remember it was kind of outrageous,
Outrageous.
And I used to have a
God.
bigger beard and a crucifix bleached
I
into
bet
it,
you
and I
sold
couldn't
me
get a
my
job
pants.
anywhere with that except Merry-Go-Round.
I loved Mary. I think I still have those jeans too.
And
They had lace. All
Jock's wearing them right now. Stand up, Jock.
There they are. No.
Cut that out, Nick.
Yes,
They don't call him
that was a
Jock for
great
nothing.
Stuff. Oh my God.
It was when Purple Rain was out. So I had the bolero jacket, with the ruffle sleeves. They made you buy the clothes.
Wow.
Made you buy the clothes, so I had to wear
So,
them.
and actually, Paul said he has a copy of that photo of you wearing the
No,
puffy
no,
shirt.
no.
Paul, bring that
They
up on
have
your
all
phone.
been-
We're going to put
those-
that
I
up
have-
on the green screen later.
I hired people to find those pictures. They're gone. They're long gone.
Gosh. Wow.
There you go. So
That was fun.
So let's talk about your influences though. Obviously, you picked Elton John. So he must have been a big influence for you.
Definitely, I was about 11 when this album came out, this particular album. But my very first album was an Elton John album. My dad used to take us to Two Guys in Neptune. It was a department store and buy 145 every Saturday.
Ah, nice.
And so I bought a few 45s, but my first actual album that I remember buying was this one.
Was Captain Fantastic?
Yeah, it was
nice.
I was 11, and you're at a point. You always have one time in your life when you're imprintable with music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was the album that formed the type of music I like, type of music I write, and what the type of music I like to sing.
I could see that. You guys performed an awesome song before, "Strange Place."
Yes, that's the title.
And you could see the influence on it. It was a great song. We'll be listening to that later. So, and at that point, did you say, "All right, I'm going to be a singer now," or?
No, I was kind of set up musically. My dad was big into vocal music. I played trombone. I was a trombone and piano player, but I didn't know about singing. I wasn't really into the singing part of it. I liked the lyrics. Every time I liked a song, it was because of the words. Yeah. And my sister had a big album collection, and I grew up with the Carpenters and James Taylor and Carole King and Eagles and and Zeppelin too. She had everything. My sister.
Yeah.
So I used to sneak in her room and put her stylus on her turntable and spin it and just listen to it because we weren't allowed to be in that room.
It sounds like my brother. Yeah. The jerk that he was.
So, but this album was it. I mean, I wore this thing out. I probably played it. If I like a song, I play it over and over and over again. The repeat button.
Brothers must love that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That album, I probably listened to it for 6 months straight,
Nice.
with nothing else.
Yeah, so we're going to find that all
Yeah,
out.
well, I
because
hope
we're
not.
gonna
Jeez, it's been a while,
ask
but-
him a lot of questions all about Elton John. Let's do one quick question now before we go into the other guys. What is very simple. This is a softball. What is Elton's real name?
Reginald Dwight.
Very good. What's his middle name, though, for the extra credit?
For the
I know
steal?
Paul is waiting for the steal. He
God.
knows.
I have no
It's
idea.
actually Paul's middle name as well.
Richard.
No, Hercules.
Is it?
That's really it.
Is it really?
It really is,
Why
yes.
did I not know
what
that?
a ridiculous name, Reginald Hercules Dwight.
Reginald Hercules
Don't make
Dwight.
fun of him, Jim.
I'm not. I'm making fun of Reginald Hercules Dwight.
He's got a song on "Don't Shoot Me, I'm the Piano Player" album called Hercules.
Yeah, see, that's where it came
Cat named
from.
Hercules.
Well,
So
let's.
you have the question, what's his
Trying to get extra
name
credit
now?
There
there.
we go.
He's trying to get extra credit for not knowing
Look,
it.
yeah,
It's on-
Look, there it is.
There's a-
All the
yeah,
albums
song
right
there
here.
called
We'll put them in
Hercules.
order later.
Hercules.
So what's going on? Anybody else got anything they'd like to talk about here? I understand, Paul, you have exciting news?
I'm
That-
playing at the Grammys. I'm not at liberty to say who I'm performing with, but
Oh
I'm
my
playing at the
God.
Grammys next week.
Wow.
February 12th. With one, possibly two artists.
Wow.
Wow.
I might actually watch the Grammys
I
now.
know.
That's what I said.
Now we definitely.
Or not.
We're going to have a party. Let's have a party.
Oh, well,
Or you
I'm
definitely-
watching
yeah,
Paul.
yeah.
That's very
Who said that?
exciting. See, that's
Jacque
even
said
more
that.
exciting than I thought.
Or I
Yeah,
definitely
two
won't.
well-known artists. I leave
Well-known.
February 10th, and then the Grammys are on the 12th.
And that's going to be in California, I imagine?
Staples Center in California. Yes.
Oh, nice. You're going to be on the red carpet? I think I should come with you,
I'm
Paul.
actually not allowed on the red carpet. No,
Yeah.
I'm the backup guy. I'm the guy that...
You got to go in the servant's entrance, yeah?
More or less, yes.
While you're waiting around, Paul, go fill those water glasses.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is really
That's
impressive.
very exciting, though.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And when are the Grammys going to be? February what?
February 12th.
February 12th.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
That'll
A
be a
Sunday.
week from whenever. We don't know when the show will be.
2 weeks away.
But we know when February 12th is. It's right after
Yes.
the 11th this year.
This year.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that. It's
Wow,
very exciting.
yeah.
And Jacques played with Elton.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. I realized that today. Jacque told us last time we were doing a Billy Joel show, I remember, and Jacque told us how he was I played with Elton John. And so would you like to recap that story? I love that story. I'd like to hear it again. It was so good.
Elton John and Billy Joel, 2000.
Oh, that's right. It was both of them.
Oh my
Jesus.
God, this
Madison
is like
Square Garden.
crazy.
Oh, my God. You
Yeah.
guys are like real rock stars. Can I have your autograph, Jacques?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so what was that experience like up there?
Surreal. It was definitely very surreal.
I remember you saying you were like so nervous you couldn't even see your sheets, charts, or
I
whatever.
wasn't allowed to have them.
Oh, that's why you couldn't see them.
If you look up the videos, it's me looking down, and everybody says to me, like, "Oh man, you're so into the music when you play. We love the way you look and how you're playing." And really, all I'm doing is I had my shoe off. And I was shuffling the sheet music. Because I'm trying to read the music and play at the same time.
That's great. I love it.
So he wouldn't let you put it like on a stand or anything, but
No.
he'd let you keep it on the floor.
Yeah, I could have it on the
okay.
floor and-
You should have just wrote it on your feet. Actually, that would have been
Yes,
even
yeah.
better.
But you don't
maybe.
correct people when they ask you that. You don't tell them the real story. You tell them I was really into the music.
No, I tell them that.
Yeah.
All the time. And then
Uh,
and then I tell my friends, and apparently then it's
great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
That
yeah.
is.
Now, what was he like though? Was he cool to hang out there, or he just like
You know, I
completely
didn't
ignored
have
you?
much interaction.
Right, that's what I figured. You know, you're with the
Yeah.
musical director, whoever it is.
That's-
Elton comes out 2 seconds before the show starts or something.
Yeah. Just comes out, starts playing.
Yeah, I know my
All
stuff,
right, this
man.
sounds good. All right, we're done.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's something
Okay.
you'll carry to your grave, Paul,
Absolutely.
a Jacque. And Paul's going to carry it to his grave, too.
Yeah.
When
Tom just came back from NAMM.
Wow, I thought that was over about 40 years ago.
Yeah, not that one.
Oh,
A couple weeks ago.
This is some
Not
movie,
Vietnam, Caroline. It's a
I-
NAMM show. What's that
Oh,
stand
not
for?
National Association of Music Merchants.
Ah, okay. I always wondered. I saw a lot of people talking about that thing. So what goes on there? Tell us about this. I'm very interested. I might go next year.
Whole ton of companies are there. They set up booths and exhibits, and you go there, try their gear, talk to them. And I was actually fortunate enough also to play at NAMM. Like they have like a bunch of bands at several venues.
Oh, yeah?
So I played at the Hilton in Anaheim.
Okay. Who were you playing with?
I was playing with the Taylor Tote Band.
Oh, okay. I've heard speak of them. She's supposed to be very good. It's a young female singer.
Yeah, I'm honored, really honored to be a part of the band.
wow.
As well as with these guys.
This is a very impressive
Yeah,
room we
you-
have here tonight.
Now we have to pay him.
Yeah, right. You guys are awesome.
I'm telling
And
you,
now-
this area is full of great musicians.
yeah.
You know, they play around.
Let's
they're
not
available.
forget little Mike in the back.
Right
I
there.
see he's feeling
Yeah.
left out.
Oh, no,
You
not
have
my
an
mic.
event though
No.
coming up though, don't you? That
Yeah.
you might want to talk about. I understand.
Oh yeah, I don't want.
You want to talk about it now? This is your turn.
Yeah.
I'll go on to someone else if you don't want to. But no, you usually have a charity event that happens. Actually, you were on. It was like a year ago today, I think. You were
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
show,
almost, yeah.
and we did a jazz album,
Right, with
Coltrane
your
or Charlie
sister.
Parker or something.
Mhm.
Right, right. And your
Yeah.
sister was here, and now this is Jammin' for Jacqueline. It's called, right?
Yeah,
So
this-
tell us a little bit about that.
That's April 29th this year.
Mhm.
Same thing. However, this time we had to go back and focus on my sister because the cancer came back. Cancer cells came back.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So we're splitting the money 50-50 with, obviously, my sister and also another young lady, Danielle Sozio, who's works with me as a teacher in Cerebral. So we're gonna split the money 50-50.
Okay.
and that's-
And what was the date you said? April
April
29th?
29th.
April
Yeah.
29th. And you
Doors
got
open 3:30.
like a website or a Facebook
yeah,
or something?
It's Facebook,
Cool.
just Jamming for Jacqueline.
Jamming for Jacqueline.
Yeah.
I'll put that information up. And
Thanks.
very exciting. So that's it. It's a room chock full of
Stars.
stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We have
So-
stars here.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, we do.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so now I want to talk about this album here. This is, I have a little notes here, but I know everything there is to know about it anyway. This was, all right, I'll start, as I'm going along, I'll ask John questions interspersed here. So what number studio album was this? This was his blank studio album.
7th.
9th. One wrong. Every time you get one wrong, you say,
Ah, you got it.
You got that? All right. So it was released, as we already know, May 19th, 1975. And this, a lot of people don't know that it was a concept album. You want to discuss what this concept was, John?
Yeah, it was a concept album. They wrote it in chronological order. They wrote the first song first, the second song second, and it just tells the story of their early career as struggling songwriters in London in the late 60s.
Yes, very good. That they
all the pitfalls of being for hire songwriters.
Right, exactly. That's how they met. That it was a newspaper ad or something, and they both applied for it. And one could write lyrics and one could write music.
You're
So
talking about
the-
Bernie Taupin now.
Yeah,
right?
Bernie
Bernie
Taupin.
Taupin, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
the guys at this company or whatever, they said, "Oh, let's put these two guys together." Can you imagine that? That if one of them didn't fill out that application,
They never would've-
this
that's
world
right.
would have been much worse place without them. I have to say that they were geniuses, and they were, the
Brilliant.
best songwriting duo I think of all time, besides Lennon and McCartney. But they weren't really songwriters like that, Like I'm saying,
Right.
pure. One writes lyrics, one writes the music. They are the best at that in the world. I would have to say. Can
I
you
agree.
name someone comparable to that?
No.
Burt Bacharach and Hal David? That doesn't count. That's crap. But they were good too. But anyway, that like you were saying, that Elton John is Captain Fantastic and Bernie's the brown dirt cowboy.
Cowboy,
So I
right.
wonder how he felt
Did
about
they
that.
flip a coin for that?
Right. You only write the lyrics. Shut up. You're the brown dirt cowboy.
Yeah.
You'd be nothing without me. So, and that Elton actually got his name from the guys in his band. Do you recall that? It was Long John Baldry and some other guy named Elton was in his band. So he took their names and became Elton John.
When
And-
he was part of the Corvettes. Was that the Corvettes?
yeah, I don't even
Yeah, that was the name
remember.
of the
It was
band.
like Bluesology, and then the Corvettes. So
Corvettes.
this was before he became famous, obviously. And he even said, "I would have never become famous if my name was Reginald Dwight."
Dwight. That's right. Yeah.
So, and like you said, from between 67 and 69, they were toiling away and struggling in London. And then in 1970, it was, they worked hard, but it was really basically overnight success when he did his 1970 concert at the Troubadour in LA. And there was all these celebrities there and record company people, and he just put on the best performance. Everybody was just blown away. And then it's just, from there, he was the biggest star in the 70s, I think. There was Led Zeppelin, Elton John, these guys were everywhere. He had like 7 number 1 albums in a row. Not even just
crazy.
songs, 7 number 1
That Troubadour concert there was an American singer-songwriter on the bill with him. I can't remember his name. I think it was David Allen or something like that. He was up and coming, and because he did a double bill with Elton John, his career just disappeared after that concert. A friend of mine, Stacey Sullivan, who's a singer, she just did a tribute to that night at the Troubadour. Elton John at the
really?
Troubadour. Yeah, she did all the music that they
Okay,
did,
cool.
and that guy vanished after that.
Wow.
Career ender.
I'm going to have to do a show about that. Whatever happened to
David
that
Allen.
guy?
I think his name is Dave Allen.
David Allen.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know.
David.
That's a good point. You get extra credit for that.
Yeah, see, I'm
Give it
trying.
go. Ding, ding, ding. When he comes up with a good fact. Yeah. So this album, it debuted at number 1, which never happened ever before in the history of the world.
Is that true?
Yeah, well, Tchaikovsky, when he released it in 1802, that went to number 1 right away, too. But that was the only album released that year, so it doesn't matter. I'm kidding, because he didn't really have albums back
Yes.
then, so.
Thank you.
Could you clarify that?
Anyway, it was certified 3 times platinum. And this was the last album to feature the classic lineup, which I'm now going to ask John to name. The classic lineup.
Elton John piano and vocals, Dee Murray on bass, Davy Johnson on guitar, Kenny Kenny. Well, wait. I'm sorry. Nigel Olsen on drums.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
of
And Ray
course-
Cooper on
Yeah, he
percussion.
doesn't really count. It's only percussion. Anybody can play percussion. Nah, just
Extra,
kidding,
I'm
Paul.
trying to get extra credit, Dennis.
No,
I was
yeah,
trying to throw
that's
him in
good.
there.
I'll
Right?
give you that, too.
Wow.
And Bernie counts that. He's the only lyricist, I think, who counts as part of the band. You know, so that was, they did, like I said, 9 albums, amazing. And this one was the creme de la creme, I gotta say. That, like, the album after this was Rock of the Westies, which still had a couple good songs on it and was still good, but it wasn't classic like this one. And did you know that Elton actually said this is his favorite album? He thought this was the best work that they ever did, that there was no commercialism involved in it or anything. Someone Saved My Life was the only single off of here, and it went to number 4. And that is amazing because it was over 6 minutes long, almost 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
So, you know, you try doing that now, put out a 7-minute song, we'll have you arrested. And, of course, that song is such a great song. It's one of
Yes.
my favorite songs. And you would like to tell us, John, what that song is about?
He was. It's about the relationship he had with this. He was a fiance of this woman named Linda Woodworth or Woolworth.
Woodrow, very good. I'll
Okay,
give
something
you
like that. Yeah, I
credit for
forgot.
that. Yeah, ding, ding,
And he
dong.
was about to get married. He was about to
He's
get.
actually
What are you
out,
saying?
sorry.
Jacque.
Sorry,
Traitor.
I was trying to do both.
I think on Jeopardy they would let me go with that. I think.
Yeah.
And then he was about to marry her, and actually it was Long John Baldry
Yep, there
that
you go.
talked
That
him
sounds
out
dirty
of it.
too, doesn't it?
Talked him out of marrying her. And said, "Don't trash your music career to get married." You know what I mean? And he didn't. He left that night. He packed his crap up and left and continued with his music.
And she was scandalous too because she was trying to bamboozle him, saying that she was pregnant.
Oh,
And
that's right.
she was not pregnant.
Oh,
So
he was?
yeah, he was, but she wasn't. And shockingly, though, that he was so distraught about this that he said he did a half-assed a suicide attempt. That all the like windows in the house were open, and he put his head in the oven. And Bernie Taupin came in and saw him and said, "You jerk, get your head out of there!" And he started slapping him around. He said, "You got so much to live for. Don't let this." Hooah! I think was his exact words that he used. Bernie Taupin does sound like that too. He sounds like a Jewish woman from Brooklyn. You're a hooah!
Somehow I don't think so, but yeah.
So anyway, yes.
Oh my God, you went off the rails there.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, Jacque's done that.
Put his head in the oven.
Only 3 times, and it was my mother.
Oh,
So what else is on this album? Tell me.
let's name the songs in order.
you know.
I better be able to see them.
do you want me to do that?
Yeah, if you
Let's
can.
see.
Sure can.
Oh,
No,
okay.
oh my
This is
God.
awesome.
Track 1,
Already.
Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Nice.
Then Tower of Babel.
Nice.
Then Bitter Fingers.
Yes.
Then When the Whistle Blows.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Someone Saved My Life Tonight.
Very good. Now,
side
side
2
two.
is Meal Ticket.
Yeah.
Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Writing.
Writing.
We All Fall in Love Sometimes.
Yep. And the
Curtains.
last one. Yeah. All right. That's a round of applause.
Yes.
Wow.
That's excellent.
That was
You
amazing.
get the official #1 Elton John fan award.
There you go.
Say.
That would have made my
Really
11-year-old
good.
self very happy.
Awesome.
Yes, that was very, very good. I'm very impressed by that. And check this
Wow.
out. This is you can't get this one in MP3. You
Look
have
at that.
all this scrapbook and lyrics and a comic book and all this stuff from 1975.
That was
I was
it.
smart enough to leave it in
Don't
there.
you miss albums like
I
that? All that stuff?
absolutely
That
do.
also
I
came.
miss
You
albums.
said that came with a poster too.
Yeah, it came with a poster. I don't know what it is. I think my brother put it up on his room. He owes me one poster. You son of a bitch.
Oh
Cut
my
that out,
God.
Nick. So now you know what time it is then? It is now time to smell the album. Everyone's favorite feature of the night. So we're going to smell this album. I haven't smelled it yet. Normally I pre-smell the albums because one time a guest died almost because he had asthma.
Black mold.
Yeah. And it opened up and a puff of black mold came. That was Paul. That happened to Paul on his 18th visit here.
I'm a little scared now. I have asthma. So.
Ah, that's very good. It's very subtle. It's not overwhelming, so
Wait,
you
did
guys
you
will
say
be all
you
right.
had asthma?
Yeah, but it hasn't bothered me though since I was like 12. So I should
Imagine if he has an attack
I
now.
don't know.
Oh, you're supposed to name your favorite song off of this album or in general
because I was
off
gonna
of
say.
any Elton John album. My favorite song off of this album is Captain Fantastic.
That smells musty. Nice.
Mine is I like Writing. It's called Writing.
It's
really, really good.
Yeah.
Good tune on there.
What it smelled like.
Do you have a favorite song by Elton John or off this album in general?
Yeah, there it is.
Favorite song, Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, nice.
Off this album, I would
I
probably say
have
Writing.
a couple.
Very good.
But
Skyline Pigeon is another one off of Madman Across the Water
Oh,
album.
really? I
That's
don't even
really,
know
really
that
great
song.
tune.
Wow, he's a big Elton John fan than me.
can I have two?
Nope.
Okay. But
Both
We're on a
sleeves.
budget.
I have Sympathy
Sympathy for the Devil.
No.
Whoa.
Funeral for a
What are you
Friend.
starting?
Funeral for a Friend.
That's
That's
a
a
good
good one.
And your song.
Oh, I thought you were going
Yeah.
to say Love Lies Bleeding, and I said that doesn't count. And would you like to tell them the background on your song?
Well, it's our wedding song.
Yes, your song is our song, Jacque.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we're not making that up like
No,
I did
it's really
with
true.
the other song. So,
So you really are an Elton John fan.
Yes.
oh, I love
Choose
it.
that as your wedding song. It's a
Yeah,
great
he was
song,
actually
yeah.
there. He came and he performed it live for us.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
It was awesome. So anyway, he went through all his troubles, and he's very happy now. I think he's married
He's
with two
married.
children. You know what time it is now, Cha-Cha?
What time is
It is now time to do the news. So this is right out of the annals of Madhouse magazine. Very exciting. Right off the presses today, the February issue came out, and I saw this story, and I figured this would fit in well here. That Madonna expresses herself. That Madonna showed up. You know how they had this March for Life over the weekend and stuff? And Madonna showed up unexpectedly during the March for Life rally in Washington, D.C. She crashed Mike Pence's speech and ripped her own uterus out with her bare hands. Blood was everywhere, and she chewed on the uterus before she flung it at Pence. She was screaming, "You want my uterus? Well, here it is." She then wrote Helter Skelter on the wall in her own blood, and the Secret Service wrestled her to the ground and tased her before transporting her to the hospital, where she was treated and released. The uterus was then donated to the Hard Rock Cafe Museum in Las Vegas, and it will be proudly displayed next to Janis Joplin's soiled underpants and Jimi Hendrix's vomit.
A moment.
There you have it. All the news not fit for print. Live from Dennis's house. So, let's wrap up this show now. And who has any parting words here? Anybody else want to report on anything that they forgot to say? John?
Just that we're recording tomorrow, and then this, will be about 9 tracks out of 12 done. And there's an Indiegogo campaign at Indiegogo.com. Type in John DePalma, Strange Place, and I'm raising the last bit of money to finish it up.
Nice. Everybody's got a lot of stuff going on. Check out Asbury. Check out John DePalma. I'll put out all this information so you can check this music out. So now we would wrap this show up, and thanks for joining us here on Live from Dennis's house, only at 474 The Mix. Blah, blah, blah. I'm tired of saying this, so I'm just going to say blah, blah, blah from now on. Check me
Yada,
out on
yada,
social
yada.
media, DennisMongillo.com, MadhouseMagazine.com, Twitter, all social media, blah, blah, blah. So, see you next week, live from Dennis's house. Let's hear it for all of you guys and me.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right, stop applauding now.